From the heart of Las Vegas, you're listening to Community Matters with Steve Rusley, your weekly guide to the people and projects building a stronger valley.
Welcome back to Community Matters. I'm your host, Steve Rusley. On this program, we highlight the organizations making a real difference in people's lives right here in our community and across the nation. Today, we're talking with an incredible nonprofit that's been changing lives for nearly 40 years, Miracle Flights. Before we jump into today's conversation, here are a few things happening around the valley. Communities and schools of Southern Nevada are in need of donations for the holiday season. Some of the most critical items they need include new unwrapped toys for kids ages 5 to 17, new jackets and other winter clothing items, including gloves, mittens, hats, sweatshirts, and sweaters for kids ages 5 to 17. And donations are being accepted now through Friday, December 12th. The drop-off location, Communities and Schools of Southern Nevada, located at 2080 East Flamingo Road, Suite 219, Las Vegas, Nevada. Hours of drop-off are 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Please call the office prior to coming. They can be reached at 702-485-4470. The Ashley Strong Foundation Fall Golf Tournament fundraiser at the South Shore Country Club is being held on November 24th from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. They still have spots available as well as some sponsorship opportunities. For more information, go to ashleystrongfoundation.org. Miracle Flights has their annual wine flights being held at downtown Summerlin on November 22nd from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. If you need more information, head over to miracleflights.org/events, then wine flights. All proceeds from this event benefit Miracle Flights, which is a Las Vegas-based national profit that provides free commercial airfare, enabling children to access the life-changing medical care they need. Electric City Light Show is a brand new magical and immersive drive-through holiday experience coming to Henderson. Both locals and visitors are welcome. The lights go bright starting November 12th until January 5th. Located just off of Russell and the 95, Electric City Light Show plans to service over 50,000 cars this holiday season. Plus, 100% of the proceeds will be donated to Hope for the City to benefit families in need. From gumdrops to glowing trees and maybe even the Grinch, Electric City will be a wonderland of lights, all synced to your favorite classic holiday songs. Silverado High School has their Empty Bowls fundraiser coming up on November 20th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. The Empty Bowls fundraiser is a wonderful opportunity for students to use their artistic talents to make a real difference in our community. This will be the third year they are partnering with the Nevada Clay Guild for this event. Last year, they completely sold out of every bowl. The concept of Empty Bowls is simple. They serve a modest meal of soup and bread in exchange for a donation of $20. Patrons get to take home a beautiful handmade ceramic bowl as a reminder of all the empty bowls in the world. Again, the event will be held on November 20th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Silverado High School, and all proceeds will be donated to 3 Square Food Bank to help fight food insecurity in our area. This is a fantastic way for the school and our community to come together for a great cause. Horses for Heroes has a ton of activities for all ages. Visit them at horses4heroes.org. Their website has a ton of information on calendar events, how to donate or volunteer, and if you have more questions, you can always email them at horsesforheroes@gmail.com. For more than 3 decades, Miracle Flights has been providing free commercial airline tickets to children and adults who need access to specialized medical care far from home. No matter the diagnosis, no matter the distance, Miracle Flights steps in to remove the financial barrier of travel so families can focus on healing, hope, and a better quality of life. We're excited to share their story and the amazing work that they continue to do. Joining us in the studio is Fox Deatry, Vice President of Marketing and Communications from Miracle Flights. Fox, thank you so much for being here. For those who might not be familiar, can you tell us what Miracle Flights is all about and the mission behind the organization?
Well, first off, Steve, I want to thank you for having me on this very important show. And, I'm actually a big fan of the show. I actually do listen to it. So thank you so much for the privilege and the honor of inviting me. So now let's talk about Miracle Flights. So Miracle Flights, we provide free commercial airline flights to children, their families, and their caregivers who need life-changing and sometimes life-saving medical care that's not available in their local communities. We were founded 40 years ago in 1985, and we were guided by the mission that no child should be denied medical care because of distance. And to date, we have flown about 167,000 flights. Let me repeat that again, 167,000 flights. And we've covered about 102 million miles. Our mission, if you really want to boil it down to a tagline, is we have a cure for distance.
Fox, you said Miracle Flights has been around since 1985, helping families in need of medical care. How exactly does Miracle Flights support these families?
That's really a good question, Steve. So we support families by covering the cost of their airline tickets for children under the age of 18 who need specialized treatment outside of their community. So families go to our website, they submit a flight request, and after some eligibility and documentation and verification, we arrange the travel for the child, their parents, or caregivers. And beyond that, we also coordinate some ground transportation whenever possible to make the medical journey, as smooth and easy as possible for the families.
I understand that many of these flights are for children with rare or life-threatening conditions. Can you share a story of a family or child whose life was impacted by Miracle Flights?
Absolutely, Steve. So I am privileged to tell you the story of our 2025 child ambassador, Asher, who's actually one of our local families. And Asher actually has a serious airway condition, and he needed to be treated and have surgery at Massachusetts General Hospital. We at Miracle Flights arranged his travel from Las Vegas to Boston with his family, with his parents, Becky and Brian, allowing him to receive this life-changing and life-saving medical care. Stories like Asher is very, very common. Families rely on Miracle Flights, on us for, from conditions ranging from clubfoot to rare diseases to heart defects. Every flight is not just transportation, it's a lifeline for them. Every flight is hope. Every flight symbolizes a miracle for these families.
As we know, air travel can be very expensive, very stressful, especially for families already facing medical challenges. How does Miracle Flights make that process a little easier for them?
Our mission is to alleviate the financial burden by covering the airfare. We also coordinate some of the travel logistics, round trip itineraries for the child, their parent and their guardian or their caregiver. Really, if you boil it down, is our mission is to ensure that families can focus on the medical care itself. Our goal is to make the medical journey as seamless whenever possible.
And you're headquartered right here in Las Vegas. What does it mean to have this national program rooted in our community?
Being headquartered in Las Vegas allows us to serve families nationwide while staying connected to our local community. Las Vegas is our home. We have been the first national nonprofit of its kind in the city, and the generosity and the engagement here from volunteers to corporate partners to donor supporters help fuel our flights across the country. It's a source of pride that our hometown supports our mission with a national impact.
Well, we love Miracle Flights, and we're so happy that you're a part of our community. I've got a question, though. How many flights are you currently providing each month, and what kind of need are you seeing right now?
Currently, Miracle Flights coordinates about 700 flights per month. That's quite a lot of flights. The demand remains very, very high, especially knowing the fact that specialized medical care is not accessible, for a lot of families who live in their local communities, and our services are often a bridge between a child, a parent, and a caregiver to life-changing and life-saving treatment. The key word here is accessibility. I gave a really good example earlier with the story of Asher. His medical journey took him to Boston because that was life-saving and life-changing for him. And Miracle Flights, through the support of donors, partners, volunteers, we were able to make that happen for him and his family.
Now let's talk about volunteers and donors who make this possible. How can people in our community get involved, whether it's through donations, volunteering, or just spreading the word?
Our work is made possible by volunteers, donors, and partners, period. You know, Volunteers contribute thousands of hours of helping us with our events, with our temple events, with our fundraising, community outreach, and family support. Individuals can donate online by going to miracleflights.org, participating in our local fundraisers, which we'll talk about in a second. Sometimes we also get volunteers in our Las Vegas office. And, for those people who are at home, you could also spread awareness through, our digital platform, social media. Every contribution, whether it's time, effort, money, advocacy, helps a child, helps a family to reach the care that they need.
And I've read that you also partner with commercial airlines and pilots. Can you explain a little bit about those partnerships and how they've extended your reach?
Absolutely. We partner with, commercial airlines like Southwest, for instance. They provide us with flights and sometimes discounted tickets. Their pilots have been very generous. They would occasionally bring some of our families into the cockpit for some photo ops. So imagine a child whose dream is probably wanting to fly or be a pilot, and they're in the cockpit, really seeing it firsthand and really experiencing it firsthand. Steve, we also partner with airport retailers like WH Smith North America. They're actually based here in Las Vegas. They help us raise awareness and funds for Miracle Flights. In fact, our little plush bear that you see at the airport's Hope and Miles, that's done through Miracle Flights, and that has raised a lot of money and awareness for us. These partnerships just really, really make it possible for us to really provide these flights, from pilots to airline companies to airport retailers. It's really a community coming together for a good cause.
Looking ahead, what are Miracle Flight's goals for the future? And are there any new initiatives or programs coming up?
Steve, our goal is to maximize the opportunities to serve our families, more families, in fact, and to ensure that no child is denied the medical care that they need because of geography. November and December ushers in a very important period for us. It's a season of giving. In fact, we're next week, beginning November 10th, we are launching our Giving Tuesday end of year giving campaigns. And for those people who locally who would like to take part in our mission, you could attend some of our fundraising events. The first one is going to be in downtown Summerlin on November 22nd. It's called Wine Flights. Basically, you purchase a ticket and you go to different stations to drink wine for a good cause, because your ticket is actually raising funds for us to make more flights for families. And then we're also doing a lighting ceremony with our Lights for Flights installations in downtown Summerlin. That the lights will be available and for people to actually see beginning the week of November 10th. And then we're also going to have a lighting ceremony sometime in December. More details to follow on that one. And then we have our biggest event of the season. It's not happening until spring of next year. It's called Soiree, and it's one of the most unique fundraisers here in Las Vegas, because we actually ask our guests to pack their bags, because at the end of the night, 3 lucky couples are given an all-expense paid trip to Palm Springs, California in style. So it's actually one of the only events that I've been to and I've been privileged to organize and take part in, where guests actually leave that night to go to a fun place. And that's all to fund the mission of Miracle Flights. We're also investing in innovative ways to support our families through different partnerships. And those partnerships are local and national. And we're really looking forward to those partnerships, because at the end of the day, they help us maximize the opportunities for our families.
Amazing. And finally, if someone listening right now knows a family that could benefit from Miracle Flights or wants to support your work, what is the best way for them to get connected?
Please, please, please go to our website, miracleflights.org. If you're a family who is in need of help, you can submit a flight request application through our website, and it will guide you through a step-by-step process from eligibility requirements, documentation, and all of that. And for those of you who would like to support our mission, take part in our mission, Our website also provides you with options on how to donate, how to volunteer. If you are a brand partner, there's also ways for you to take part. The easiest place, as I've said, is to go to our website, miracleflights.org.
And for those that want to follow you on social media, because I've noticed some great videos, some great things that you have, how can they find you on the socials?
Our handle is Miracle Flights. Please check us on Facebook, on Instagram, on X. We are also on YouTube. We actually launched a series a couple of months ago called Smiles with Miles and Friends. Miles is our mascot that everybody loves. And we created a child series in partnership with Ryan Seacrest Studios that is available in 14 hospitals nationwide. So you could follow us on social media, go visit our website. And I always tell people, engage with us, start the conversation on social and start the conversation in person as well.
Love that message. Fox, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sharing what Miracle Flights does and the need there's a need out here in our community for us to get together and support you guys.
Thank you very much, Steve. And as we say here at Miracle Flights, we have a cure for distance.
Listeners, did you know that Clark County Parks and Rec has a website that has a ton of information on free and low-cost programs or activities in our community? There are several community centers that you can find close to you that have some great events and are a great way to find something new for you or the entire family. They have a new winter brochure where you're sure to find something of interest. So go check them out. That's Clark County Parks and Rec. Their website is clarkcountynv.gov/government/departments/Parks and Rec. There are a ton of nonprofits in the Valley that need your help, especially during the holiday season. So how do you find a good volunteer fit? Well, there's a couple steps you can take. One, decide what you're willing to commit. Is it short-term or long-term? Do you want a one-time event, a few hours a month, or maybe it's an ongoing role? And what skills and interests, what causes speak to you? Is it children, environment, food, hunger, animals, and logistics? How far are you willing to travel, and what time of the day works for you? These are some questions that you can ask yourself. Now, there are some volunteer match platforms and local listings. For example, United Way of Southern Nevada has a volunteer page where you can connect with many other partner organizations to see what fits you. Idealist lets you filter for volunteer in Las Vegas and shows hundreds of opportunities. Just Serve is another platform listing local service projects. And the City of Las Vegas is a great resource to find volunteer opportunities. Now pick a few organizations that align with your values. Look at their mission, what volunteers actually do, and what the commitment is. For example, the food bank, 3 Square Food Bank, has a volunteer shifts for meal packing, produce sorting, etc. And reach out, ask key questions. What does a typical volunteer shift look like? Is training required? Are there age minimum requirements? Is group volunteering possible if you want to bring friends and family? And what's the dress code? Are there any safety rules? Follow through. Once you pick something, show up, be reliable. After a shift, reflect. Did you enjoy it? Did it feel meaningful? If yes, consider it a regular role. If not, try another cause. But most importantly, get out there, give back. Our community needs it. As we wrap up today's conversation on Community Matters, I want to take a moment to reflect on the incredible work happening right here in our community through an organization that continues to change lives, not just in Las Vegas, not just in Nevada, but across the entire nation. Miracle Flights. If you've been with us through the interview, you've heard firsthand just how powerful and life-changing their mission truly is. But in these final moments, I want to bring the heart of this story back into focus. What Miracle Flights represents, why their work matters, and how each one of us can be a part of something bigger, something meaningful, something that truly makes a difference. Miracle Flights is more than just a nonprofit. They are a lifeline, one that takes flight thousands of times every single year. For families facing medical uncertainty, financial strain, and the fear of the unknown, Miracle Flight steps in with something priceless. Hope. Real hope. The kind that shows up when the bills are high, when the resources are limited, and when the care a child needs doesn't exist anywhere close to home. They provide free commercial flights so families can reach life-saving, life-changing medical care anywhere in the country. And what struck me during this interview is that they just don't do it once or occasionally. They do this consistently and without ever asking families to repay a single thing. Every single flight, every single story, every single journey is a reminder that compassion, community, and generosity are still alive and well. Behind every flight is a child with a rare disease, a parent desperate for answers, a family clinging to hope. These aren't just trips, they are journeys towards healing, towards stability, towards a better tomorrow. Miracle Flights meets families in their darkest moments and gives them a path forward. During the interview, we heard the story of Asher, who needed treatments in Boston. Just like Asher, there are many families who had flown dozens, even hundreds of times so their kids could continue seeing specialists. And in every story, there is one common thread. Miracle Flights was there every step of the way. That's something worth pausing for, because when you think about it, the stress of having a child with a serious medical need is already overwhelming. Add the cost of travel, lodging, meals, and the time away from work, and you begin to understand the impossible decisions families are asked to make. Questions like, should we skip treatment? Should we delay another appointment? Should we drain our savings? Miracle Flights wipes those questions away. They lift that burden, and they do it with dignity, care, and understanding, because they know that medical challenges don't wait for financial stability. What also resonated during today's interview with Fox is how much more Miracle Flights offers beyond the travel itself. Yes, the flights matter, but the emotional relief they bring is just as powerful. Imagine getting the call that your child has been accepted into a specialized medical program in another state. You should be feeling hope, but instead you're worried about airline tickets, baggage fees, layovers, logistics. And Miracle Flights steps in and says, don't worry, we got you. They take care of the arrangements. They guide families through the process. They make it possible for parents to focus on what matters most, the health and well-being of their child. To families who are overwhelmed, scared, and unsure, that kind of support is life-changing. Another thing I want to emphasize is this. Miracle Flights is a Las Vegas-born organization making a national impact. Right here from our city, their team coordinates flights across all 50 states, helping children and adults reach doctors, hospitals, and specialists who may be thousands of miles away. Las Vegas is known for entertainment, hospitality, and bright lights. But Miracle Flights reflects something even more powerful about our city, our heart, our commitment to the community, our willingness to help strangers, our belief that every child deserves a chance to get the care they need regardless of their financial situation. This organization puts Las Vegas on the map for all the right reasons. It shows the world that compassion is a part of our identity. One of the key messages from today's interview was that Miracle Flights can only continue their mission because of people choose to support them. Their work is possible because of everyday individuals, families, businesses, donors, and partners who believe in the power of giving. Maybe you're listening today and you're thinking, I want to help, but I'm not sure how. The truth is, there are so many ways. Financial donations, spreading the word, corporate partnerships, volunteering. Every gesture matters. Every dollar matters. Every voice matters. On behalf of Community Matters, I want to extend a sincere thank you to Fox and Miracle Flights, not just for being here today, but for the work they do every single day. This has been Community Matters. I'm Steve Rusley. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for caring, and thank you for always being a community that shows up. Until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and remember, when we lift someone else up, we all rise.
Community Matters with Steve Rusley is a weekly presentation of the Beasley Media Group.